Hello, my name is Mark Richter, and today I would like to communicate with you about communications and how to solve your biggest pool business or any business challenge, and that is communications, communications, communications. Is your number one client's complaint communications, and is it your largest frustration? Well, if so, continue, and I'll be glad to show you how in Pool Pro Office we have developed a way to communicate with the client very simply, very effectively, and the most professional in communications you can achieve. I'll go ahead and get started with the home page. We have notifications, which is a way for management to communicate with internally in the office with sales folks. As you can see, we have a sales meeting this Friday to review the end of the year sales and report. We also welcome you to Pool Pro Office, solving the biggest business challenge you have, and that is your communications. As a pool builder, the largest complaint I always received from any client that was upset with me was lack of communications. So in the development of Pool Pro Office over 12 years ago, we built in communications. We've also added this year an additional communication tool, SMS texting and SMS text templates. So I'll go ahead and get started with leads. That's the most important because without a lead, you don't have a sale. So if we go to a lead, we can view active leads and we can view the active lead. At this point, we can communicate with this client. We can send the customer information directly to the salesperson so they can contact this customer immediately. We can also send out an introductory letter, which could be HTML, and I'll review that with you shortly. We can also, in the sales process, send out communications. The salesperson can also go to communications and email communications. For example, this would be the information that was sent to the designer as soon as the lead came in. It's going to have the contact information, phone number, email address, what they're looking for, who referred them, the address, and the appointment date and time. So that information is delivered to the designer immediately for them to get in touch with this contact. In this particular case, an email introductory letter was sent out. And that is a template that was built in the settings, and it thanked the client for contacting them. It talked about the first appointment. It also had links to videos, to photo galleries, to their social media, and it also had links to information about products. So this is /an introductory letter / buyer's guide that informs that customer of the products and features you're going to talk about on that first appointment. And I'll review this a little more in detail in just a few moments. We can also send out a thank you letter. This would be another thank you letter with the appointment date, and it talks about the first meeting, what to expect at that first meeting, the need for that important survey at time of that meeting. Also, it talks about yard access, setbacks, homeowners associations, so it really prepares that client for that first meeting. Another email communication we can send out would be, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to provide you with a proposal. So all along the way, we can send out email communications to the client and log it in. All these email communications were preset templates that you can build in your Pool Pro Office. For an example, if I go to Settings tab, this is where we build our introductory letter. And this is a custom letter that you get to build whatever content you want to give to this client at the beginning as soon as they get off the phone. This is an example of a pool builder's introductory letter. Each one of these are active links that link them to photo galleries, to YouTube channels, to Pentair, to saving energy, energy efficient pumps, cleaning systems, and financing. So they're on a shopping spree as soon as they get off the phone. Other than the introductory letter, every single communication we send out, we can add headers and footers to this, to all those communications. In the lead process manager, we can actually create templates. This could be an initial contact, could be another example of a great introductory letter. At the time of setting the appointment, this is where we build the content to send out at that point. And same thing with the proposal. So this is where you build your templates. And once you build a template, it could be email or it can be SMS text templates too. At that point, in the sales process, in leads, we'll go back to that lead. In the sales process, this was the process of selling that pool. This would be where the email templates are loaded. So at this point, these two email templates have been emailed to that client and the button has disappeared. So it makes it easy for you to, with a click of a button, communicate in a professional manner with that client, sending these template texts and emails. We also have the ability to store all those communications. Along with, we can email the client. So I can click email and that brings up an email template that I can easily add who, from, subject, message, copy people, add attachments, and email it out, and it would add that to the communications tab for that client. Another new and great feature this year would be SMS texting. At this point, I can create an SMS text and I can put in the title of the text. I'll just put, this is a test. Click OK. And that text message has been sent out. You just heard my phone ding, and that was receiving my text message. So the nice thing about SMS texting, it's immediate. The customer generally will get that quicker than they will an email. So there are many ways of communicating with that potential client and tracking those communications to assist you in selling more pools. As we get to projects, as we go to the project page, we can also communicate with that client. In each project folder, we will have the project customer information. We will have email addresses that I can send emails, or I can click the phone number, and if it's a cell phone, send out an SMS text. Another area we can communicate is in the calendar view. And this is a new calendar, the Ultimate Calendar this year, which is another new feature. And this updates our calendar view to be interactive. We can choose the calendars we want to display and combine them. I could choose my Milestone construction calendar. I could add my service calls to this calendar. And I could also add my sales appointments to this calendar. Or I could filter back. I can also filter by status. So in the Ultimate Calendar view, we can do many things. But most importantly, I can click on any of these and click my wheel, and now I can send out a new SMS text, a new email to this client related to this milestone, or I could send out that template text I had built, or that template SMS text template, which I'll show you where you can build those. So in the calendar view, we can do many more things than just schedule. We can communicate through the calendar. We can also, with this new calendar view, drag and drop, make any changes with a click of a button. So our calendar view is greatly enhanced, and we can combine calendars all in one, or we can filter and sort by the calendar we need to look at. So terrific customer communications in the calendar view. We also have the ability to communicate internally with your subcontractors. So I could send an email or SMS text to your subcontractors. In each project folder, there again, we will have the ability to create work orders and purchase orders. So in construction work orders, we can create a construction work order. I'll show you a detail of one here, and that will communicate to Buccaneer Steel that he's got an excavation to do on such and such a date, and I could even put my pricing in there. At that point, I could email this work order to that client, and everything gets logged into communications. So no matter what I do with this client, it is keeping a history of all my communications, and I can view those details at any time. I can view the document. I can view who it was sent to. I can also view all my SMS text templates. So we have a running history of all communications in one spot. Very important. Everything in one location. The next area we have for communications is going to be in the service side. In the service side, we can communicate the same way we can through SMS text or through email. And the service tech in the field can also communicate with that client. Once a service tech pulls up his view with his service calls in there, he'll be able to manage his calls, review them. He could keep additional notes. He could upload images. He could email this client a communication or text this client a communication. He can also add his weekly readings if it's a weekly route, and email this client the checklist directly here with any notes. He could also email the client the invoice. So every step of the way, we have made it easy to communicate with internally, with potential clients, with your existing clients, and also your subcontractors. And the key to that is high quality professional communications, and we enabled you to develop those in the settings area. In settings in construction, Milestone Manager, this is where you can build your SMS text templates. You can create a SMS text template, or you can come down and create a HTML template to be sent at any milestone. And this is where you can communicate with the client exactly where they are in the status of building their pool. My philosophy has always been, if I give the tool to communicate with the client to the scheduler or somebody in the office, I'll reduce the number of calls and complaints coming in. And if I have a running record of all those communications, usually the client will not, they may be upset with me still, but it wasn't due to lack of communications on our end. It's just that they were frustrated. And that relieved my frustration of managing a pool business. So at Pool Pro Office, we have communication solutions for you and your business to assist you in communicating and selling more pools and managing your projects and your clients in a more professional manner. Thank you very much and have a great day.